Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Dark Side, the Grand Army of the Republic. So today, we're starting episode 1, GAR Unsolved, the Jedi. Now, for those of you who don't know, we're going to give you a quick recap about what Jedi are. Obviously, they're the lightsaber-wielding generals in the Clone Wars who led the clones to victory with a Confederacy of Independent Systems. So, that being said, Jedi Generals. Where are the Jedi Generals? If you think about it, we have all the commanders and all the divisions that these Jedis would have led. We have, just to name the commanders of the divisions, we have Bly, Fox, Wolf, Cody, Gree, and many others, just to name a few. But we don't have any Jedi generals. In fact, we don't have any generals at all. All we have is commanders in the lower ranks. We also have officers. But for divisions, we only have commanders, not generals. We even have the 187th, Mace Windu's attack battalion, but we don't have Mace Windu. So there's a division named after him in his honor, and yet he himself is not here to lead it. So the real question is, did we ever have Jedi generals? And I think, well, of course we must have. How else would this war have started? But if we did have Jedi generals, then what happened to them? And the easy answer to that is obviously Order 66. I mean, let's be honest here, it happened in the Clone Wars. We have a Supreme Chancellor. For all we know, we probably still have chips in our heads. We could have chips in our heads right now. So we commenced Order 66. We killed our Jedi generals. Right? Think about it. We have all the clone commanders to do it. Wolf kills Plo Koon. Bly kills Aayla Secura. Cody kills Kenobi, or at least tries to. And Gree kills Yoda. Right? And many others. Obviously the 187th attack Mace Windu. So, yeah, we know we have the head chips. They're a prominent part of clone DNA. The Kaminoans would still... We have everyone you need for the clone chips, right? We have Count Dooku. We've seen him on Coruscant. So obviously, we have already executed. We have a Supreme Chancellor. We have Count Dooku. We have everything we need for chips to be implanted in our heads for us to have taken out the Jedi Generals. It's all there. It all lines up. So the real question is, where's the Jedi Temple, right? We know the 501st personally stormed the Jedi Temple with Jedi Anakin Skywalker, but where is Anakin Skywalker? Obviously, we haven't turned to the Empire, so somewhere during Order 66, something happened. Someone intersected and switched it up a little bit. And let me suggest to you that that person is none other than our Supreme Chancellor Viking Law himself. Think about it. Palpatine comes and he's trying to execute Order 66. He's trying to take out all the Jedi generals. But somehow, Viking Law interrupts this and Anakin gets taken out of the picture. And somehow the 501st stormed the Jedi Temple alone. And we've seen Viking. I've seen Viking myself in-game. And he wields dual red lightsabers. So Viking Law, if you think about it, Viking Law must be extremely powerful, and it's pretty obvious to me that he overthrew Palpatine. I mean, he wields dual lightsabers. I'm sure he has all the force abilities he needs, and he's literally the Supreme Chancellor, and he comes out of nowhere. We've never heard of Viking Law before. So this Viking Law comes out of nowhere and conquers Palpatine, somehow also manages to take Anakin out of the equation. So obviously, we still commence Order 66, and we commence the raid of the Jedi Temple. Well then, Wolfness, where's the Jedi Temple? Well, there's a space here on Coruscant that would fit the Jedi Temple greatly. But we have to address the fact that this is going to sound crazy, but I propose that we aren't actually on Coruscant. Think about it. Where are all the citizens? Where are all the citizens? Coruscant is a bustling city. Coruscant it's a citywide planet. There's quite clearly over here you can see it, but if you walk on the map you can see it better. There's grass and rocks and natural biomes outside of the city. Coruscant is a planet-wide city. Also, Coruscant has lower levels. The entire planet is a whole city. It's like the Death Star. Do we have lower levels? No, we don't. So think about that. How could this then be Coruscant? With the lack of citizens, the majority of us here in this city are cloned. Right now, look at this on the side. Look how many clones we have versus actual players. And all the players' names are immigrants. They're not actual citizens. So this isn't Coruscant. I'm going to go into more details later as to why this is not Coruscant and why the city that we're in now is so vital to the overall scheme of Viking Law's plans. But I'm gonna go into that later. I'm not gonna spoil it now. So of course, this not being Coruscant, we aren't going to have a Jedi Temple. There isn't going to be a Jedi Temple here because this is not Coruscant. The 501st raided the Jedi Temple. They had help with some other divisions. The Coruscant Guard as well. The Coruscant and the 501st raided the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, took care of all the actual Jedi. Somehow Viking Law takes out Palpatine and Anakin, and the rest of us commence Order 66 and take out our generals. So, well, okay, we killed off all the generals. I mean, plain as day. Then why in the heck do we have Yodas roaming the streets? You can literally see Yodas. Well, let's take a second to analyze these Yodas. First of all, we know there's multiple Yodas. We've seen multiple Yodas. There's more than one Yoda. They act differently. It's weird, isn't it? It's uncanny. It's almost like they're not obviously not the same. Also, these Yodas are as tall as us clone troopers, and none of them have gray hair or have to use sticks or they have benched over, hunched over backs. There's something different about these Yodas. They're as tall as us. They don't have wrinkles or gray hair. And they speak normally. They speak like us. They don't have the Yoda talk. So how would an old man be transformed into something in a younger and taller version than him? Well, let's look at each other for this answer. All of us are clones, right? We're all made identical, made by Jango Fett. Some people probably think that our canon doesn't line up with that, but if you think that we all just recruit ourselves in the army, no, we're clones. We were born on Kamino. Just look at the Republic Commando's description. It literally says that we were bred from Jango Fett. So we know that that's canon. We know that we're clones. We know that we are identical, born on Kamino. So if we were able to be cloned, why can't we do it with Yoda? They can just as easily get DNA from him and make more versions of him and edit them to be taller, stronger, faster, and be built more like us without age, and obviously they would be started from birth. Think about it, right? During Order 66, Commander Gree tries to kill Yoda, and he gets his head chopped off. But we can obviously see that Gree is still alive, and somehow the Jedi are gone. So we know Order 66 takes place, but Gree somehow lives. So in this version of canon, Commander Gree, instead, he doesn't go for Yoda because he's given special orders to bring Yoda in alive. So instead of trying to kill him, he and the ARF trooper that attack Yoda stun him. And this catches him off guard because it was expecting an attack. Instead, they stun him, and the stun guns are able to spread out because they have those circular beams. So they bring in Yoda, and Yoda's of course still alive. So they've stunned him, and they take him to a facility on this city. We'll call it, right now we're going to call it Coruscant until we get a better name for it. So they bring him to, quotes, Coruscant. They're going to need a cloning facility to clone him. They're going to need to be able to extract DNA from him, to make live samples from him. So they're going to clone Yoda, just like they did to Jango Fett. And think about it. Well, you'd be like, Wolfness, where would they do this? Right here. What is this space for? It's a bunch of empty space. Look, this is a perfect place. It has an outer guarding wall. It has these almost looking like industrial doors. You can see red light coming in from them. And it has electric fence and a door. It has a literal door. There is a door into this, whatever this space here is, there's a door to it that we cannot access. We're not able to access it. Now, doesn't that seem unusual to you? In addition to this, next to this facility, there's a camera. There is surveillance on the side of this building. In addition to it with a fence. This fence doesn't look like it's guarding anything. So why is it here? There's surveillance in this building. There's a door to this building. There's fencing around this building. And there's also industrial piping going into this building. Why in the world, if this place was abandoned, would they have... And there's lights on. This light's on, clearly under this, right here. Glowing lights. Why would they have active surveillance, an active fence, obviously a working door that's locked, and industrial piping all going into an empty space? Doesn't make sense. They have the industrial piping. All these things are because it's a working, functioning facility to clone Force users off of Yoda's DNA. So the rest of the Jedi are dead. Yoda is in this facility somewhere, or at least samples, probably not himself, but probably at least huge samples of his DNA, so they can splice it and recreate it in the Yoda clones. And if you think about it, look, we know that you can buy lightsabers. The Republic sells lightsabers. Where would we get all the lightsabers for that if we didn't commence Order 66? Also, we sell Force sensitivity. You can buy Force sensitivity from the market. The black market, not the black market. I haven't determined yet where we get these things from, but I've seen clones with Force abilities. Jango Fett was not born with Force abilities. Somewhere there are solutions that are being made off of a Force user that we are able to inject into ourselves and get Force abilities. And the Republic sells these. How are they making them? How are you making Force-sensitive solutions if they are not cloning and taking the midichlorians and reproducing them off of someone's DNA? Just think on that. How are they doing that? We literally sell Force powers. Midichlorians don't come from nowhere. They always have to come from somewhere. And you're saying, well, we wouldn't remember Order 66. Well, of course not. That's how the chips in our heads work. They dull your mind, override it. That's their design. That's what they're meant to do. And there's also posts. These places are meant to be guarded. This is meant to be guarded. You are meant to stand. Soldiers are meant to stand here with rifles and guard this area for what? If there's nothing in here, why would they have us guard it? Right? Think about that. If there's nothing in there, why is there surveillance and guard posts and there's gates and there's little fences? There's so much about GAR we don't understand yet, guys. There's so much hidden below the surface, and I feel like there's something just deep. There's so much we haven't figured out yet. And some of the stuff that I've discovered, it worries me. It really does. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more. Keep in mind that this is all jokes and stuff. This is just my conspiracy theories. And everything in the video does not necessarily reflect the views of the Grand Admiral of the Republic, Viking Law, or any of his staff or employees, or even anyone in the group. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, guys, we will see you on the border.